You are already dead. You just don't know it yet. Right now, our sun is quietly charging up a magnetic weapon so powerful that a single release could boil away Earth's atmosphere and hurl enough radiation to sterilize a continent. And here's the part that no physicist will say out loud at a dinner party. The energy unleashed in a single major solar flare exceeds 1 billion nuclear bombs detonating simultaneously. Now ask yourself this. What if you were inside the star when it happened? Not orbiting it, not watching from a distance, inside. That question sounds insane, but science doesn't laugh at insane questions. It answers them. And the answer in this case is something that will permanently change how you see the night sky, nuclear physics, and the thin, fragile bubble of magnetic field keeping every living thing on Earth from being incinerated right now. Let's go deeper. A solar flare is not just a big burst of light. It's a magnetic catastrophe. The sun's interior is not solid or even liquid in any way we'd recognize. It's a plasma, an electrically charged gas so dense and so hot that atoms cannot hold their electrons. They're ripped apart. And inside this chaos, magnetic field lines tangle, twist, and compress like rubber bands stretched to their absolute limit. When those field lines cross and reconnect in a process scientists call magnetic reconnection, they snap. That snap releases energy in a fraction of a second. We're talking about temperatures in the reconnection zone reaching over 10 million degrees Celsius, hotter than the sun's own core in localized pockets. Particles are accelerated to nearly the speed of light. X-rays, gamma rays, and proton streams burst outward. It is the single most violent non-explosive event our solar system produces on a regular basis. Now, here's where the thought experiment gets terrifying in the most fascinating way possible. Imagine you could exist inside the sun, shielded somehow from the heat, from the pressure of over 200 billion times Earth's atmospheric pressure, from the radiation that would reduce matter to its component quarks. You are there, hovering in the plasma, watching the magnetic field lines around you begin to writhe. What do you experience? First, you'd feel something we have no human word for: an electromagnetic tension. The space around you would be saturated with magnetic field energy so dense it would physically push against matter itself. Physicists describe this as magnetic pressure, and in the moments before a flare, it builds to values that would make our most powerful MRI machines look like a child's toy magnet. The field lines would literally glow not with light, but with energy potential, coiled and hungry. Then the reconnection happens. In roughly 1/10 of a second, the magnetic topology of the region restructures. This is not an explosion in the conventional sense. It's a sudden release of stored electromagnetic energy directly into the surrounding plasma. The plasma around you would accelerate from thermal velocities to relativistic velocities. You'd be inside a particle accelerator the size of a small country, operating at energies we can only dream of producing in our largest colliders on Earth. The energy released in an X-class solar flare, the most powerful category we observe, is approximately 10 to the 25th joules. To put that in words, that means something. If you took every nuclear weapon ever built and detonated them all at once, you would need to do that 1 billion times over to match what a major solar flare releases. And medium-sized flares happen dozens of times per solar cycle. The sun does this casually. If you're still watching, do yourself a favor right now and hit that subscribe button. We explore these boundaries between the possible and the impossible every single week. And what comes next in this video might be the most counterintuitive thing you've ever heard about survival and energy. Here's the twist. In a theoretical sense, the very magnetic field that causes the flare could also be the thing that protects you during it. In regions of intense magnetic flux, charged particles are forced to travel along field lines. This is how Earth's magnetosphere deflects solar wind. If you were positioned in a region of high magnetic field convergence, sometimes called a magnetic bottle configuration, the field lines would actually curve and redirect the particle streams around you. You'd be in the eye of a relativistic storm. The energy would cascade outward in all directions while you sat in a temporary pocket of relative electromagnetic calm. Relative being the key word. The radiation alone would still be beyond any known material's capacity to absorb. But the principle is real. Magnetic geometry can create islands of lower chaos inside a sea of maximum chaos. This is actually how scientists are designing fusion reactors right now. The tokamak design uses magnetic confinement to hold plasma that reaches temperatures similar to the sun's core. The plasma cannot touch the walls because the magnetic field geometry keeps it contained. What we're doing in a laboratory is a pale shadow of what the sun does naturally every moment of every day. And this raises a profound question. What if life could theoretically exist inside a stellar environment? Not carbon-based life, not anything biological, but structured electromagnetic patterns, self-reinforcing plasmoid formations that some fringe physicists have genuinely proposed as a form of plasma life. These rotating, self-organized plasma structures have been observed in laboratory settings. They absorb energy, expel waste energy, and maintain their structure over time. A solar flare, rather than destroying them, might actually be the event that feeds them. We live on a quiet rock orbiting a violent, ancient, endlessly creative nuclear engine. The sun doesn't care about us. It doesn't target us. It simply operates at a scale that makes our entire civilization look like a dust mote on the lens of a telescope. A Carrington-level event, like the solar storm that struck Earth in 1859, would today destroy most of the world's electrical infrastructure in a matter of hours. Satellites would fail. GPS would vanish. Power grids across entire continents would burn out within a day. The sun is not a background object. It is the most dangerous and most life-giving thing in our cosmic neighborhood, and we are permanently at its mercy. If this video opens something new in the way you think about the cosmos, share it with someone who thinks science is boring. Prove them wrong. Subscribe for more journeys into the science that should terrify and inspire you in equal measure. We'll see you in the next one.